Hello and welcome back to Factory Town Idle. In our last episode, we opened up the magic biome and created a town there, and did the first part of the setup of that town, the first however much research of that, and more, and it has gone quite a bit. It's up to level 16 already. Everyone else is at high 20, or well 23, up through very early or earliest 24. The mountains have sprung ahead for some reason, ahead of, actually I think I might know why, but I've sprung ahead of the river and the forest here, and the jungle, too, but it was ahead of the jungle, I think, anyway, to get to level 24. So we did a lot of that, and we'll go take a look at that a little bit later in this episode. But first, I want to kind of show you what I've done on the magic front here in Wallyville. The first research we had available to us was Magic Forge, which we started at the end of the last episode. There were it was quite a lengthy research runtime, and it used the new resource, the Mana Shard, of which you can see I have a small surplus coming in right now, and I'll talk about why there's a surplus all of a sudden when there shouldn't be right now in a little bit. So that unlocked the Magic Forge, which gives us the things you can see here, leading to specifically the Mana Crystal, which is the first crystal you can see here, as well as this research, the Mage Tower. The Mage Tower's down here a bit. Mage Tower, not that far down. That was the bottom. There it is. The Mage Tower leads to more stuff in the magic realm, specifically this Magical Knowledge Tome 1, and the research for the Mana Transmitter. And when I say specific, as well as its own building, and when I say specifically, these are the things that I'm actually using, or that are actually available to me already. So the next that I did was the Mana Transmitter, which turns those crystals into a form of energy, specifically mana power, as well as unlocks a research for enchanting and some more, but enchanting is the one I'm calling out here, because that's the next one, the only one of those, but that's the next one that's available to us. And then that leads to enchanting, which is up here, and enchanting allows us to eventually make a bunch of things, but right now we can only make one, the Enchanted Book. And it unlocks the research for magic construction, which we are running right now. That's here. And that's got a little under an hour left, and I've got 4 schools dedicated to it. I could probably make some more schools and dedicate some more to it, but we had a deficit of mana shards. And I'll show you why, and why we don't right now in just a little bit, but I want to go into the crafting screen and show you the new stuff here first. So as we saw, there are 4 researches done. There are 4 new buildings, and I have a few of each running right now. The first one is the Magic Forge, which turns those mana shards into mana crystals with the use of fire, and we're running those right now at a limited speed. And the reason that's limited is because of the thing that I'm going to show you in a little bit. Those mana crystals are then used in at least 2 things. One of those is Magical Knowledge Tome 1. Those are here. They take the General Knowledge Tome, and turn those into Magical Knowledge Tomes. And those are used just like the industrial ones are used for different types of research. We also unlocked at some point in one of those recipes another General Knowledge Tome recipe. And I will eventually start using this one, but because of what should be a deficit of mana crystals, I don't want to use this one yet. So I'm not using this one yet, but we will eventually start using it because it's more closely matched here, as you can see, than the 10 is, which is closely matched to this one. But barring that, which actually some of them did run because it kicked on automatically because I forgot to do it, we'll come back to it a little bit later, and I'll show you, we'll start using it a little bit later, I should say. So then back to the mana crystals again. The other use for them is mana power, which we talked about when we unlocked the Mana Transmitter. That turns it into mana power. With mana crystals plus power makes mana power. And mana power is a form of energy. So that is here in the energy grouping. And we are using that then with the books to make the enchanted books. And you can see those here. And that is slowly filling up. Actually, probably could do this. Yeah, let's do that. Let it use both of them. That's fine. It'll just make them twice as fast. And fill up that buffer, wherever that buffer actually is. Oh, down here. Fill up that buffer a little bit faster, which is fine too. And it'll use a little bit more of the mana crystals. And so the thing that that happened, and I think I know why it happened, I would still say it's maybe an unintended feature or an unintended something that I think should be changed. But in the trading screen, when you unlock a recipe on a town that is older, when I say older, I mean older than that update that changed this selection screen, any recipe you unlock will automatically start exporting. Not counting these, because these I did actually set myself. But down here, the mana crystals, the enchanted books, and the magical knowledge tomes all started exporting by default. And I think I understand why, because that was the old default for the old setup of this. But because I have the automatic rebalance on, they automatically kicked on, which I think is an unintended consequence. So it seems like it would be better if the recipe unlocked, when the recipe unlocked with none, even on an older town, than unlocking following the sort of town rule. At least that seems to make sense to me. I don't know how that would work in the programming, whether it be easy or hard, but it seems like it would make more sense to me to have these things not unlock and start exporting immediately if you have automatic rebalance on. So I ended up with a bunch of magical knowledge tomes, enchanted books, and mana crystals. Remember, the mana power energies are not tradable. So those three, end up with a bunch of them in the buffer, especially the mana crystal. I think I had almost 500,000 in here. So that you can see they're being slowly drained out, which is why we're not making a ton. And in fact, I could probably drain them out faster by disabling the making of them, that could actually be a decent idea, because then that would mean more mana shards for the research. But I think it's okay the way that it is, because we are, it's working. Everything's working. These are getting pulled back out, although they'll probably get dumped back in from somewhere eventually, but probably from here because of that. It's got the productivity on the Magic Forge, so I think we'll probably make them, all of them here later. So that's kind of the new stuff, at least that I have right now in the Magic realm, until we get Magic Construction done, which gives us Magic Stone Bricks and Magic Planks, as well as some other things there. At least I think those are the two we're going to get right away. We're kind of at an impasse here for the stuff we can do with Magic, but it gives us kind of an opening for how much stuff for the stuff we have for Magic. So that's kind of part one of this episode. Part two is just an update on where we are with the Magic Town. You can see that I'm doing a few researches here, and you can kind of see where I'm at technologically. We're unlocking gem jewelry. We just recently unlocked gears and wheels, so we're able to use those now for, as well as actually power came just before that. We're able to use those now for research, and we're working on these other researches here. Upgrades is pretty clean. I've done most every upgrade that we have here in this town, which is pretty good. We earned some money overnight kind of thing. So we have a bit more of these to do. The Magic Forge is, I did run that for a little while, but then I saw that I was at a deficit of mana shards because I was pulling up too many of them into Wallyville. So I turned it off here. Plus, I think when I was running this, we didn't have very many researches available, so I figured I would sink a little bit into a school. But now that we have other things to do, and I thought we were running at a pretty severe deficit in Wallyville, I wanted to not be draining them here as well. But I could probably turn it back on for a little while. But on the other hand, we really just need to get as much of those mana shards converted into mana crystals and so on in Wallyville, so that we can get this upgraded, and so that we can start prospecting these, I'm assuming in a gem mine, although we haven't unlocked that yet, which I don't think we'll unlock until we unlock silver and gold, which I don't remember where we even unlock silver and gold at. Are those considered upgrades, or are those considered researches? I can't remember. I've only done it, what, 6, 7 times? And I can't remember. Research, locked. There's gold ore and silver ore here. So once we unlock those with Industrial Knowledge Tome 2, and then this one, this one requires silver to unlock gold. So we will get those, and then I guess this unlocks gem mines at that point. So yeah, we need to get Industrial Knowledge Tome 2's going, which I'm on my way, but I think I need to do, I think steam pipes is the last bit for that. I think. I could be wrong. We could actually find out. Nope, it's machinery and steam pipes. So I'm on my way. We'll be there in 35 minutes, but we're not obviously going to do that in this episode. But at least that'll get us toward being able to make more mana shards, and then I can take the mana shards to the other towns, and we can unlock all the things to get those caught up to Wallyville. So as you can tell, we're making and selling one of everything that we make, all the way down, I think. Yeah, we're not making these last 4 meals yet. Actually, I'm making cake. I am actually making cake. And then once the cake got full, then they made berry cake with it. But I'd have to add another building here, and I didn't do it. And then apothecary's going, and we don't have the silver and gold going yet, so I didn't bother turning these on here either. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Oh, of course. That's fine. We'll do another one. At least we'll get that moving, and we'll get some of that stuff sold. Although these right now are not getting made. And they won't be getting made either because I don't think I have enough workers here either for that. I only have 5 kitchens times 3 per. So we'd have to rearrange or decrease somebody, and I think I'm just going to leave it like it is and let these guys go down to 0 buffer because it's fine. Like, we don't need to sell 100% right now. We're only using them for sales, so we don't need to sell that much. I don't think we do anyway. If the more we sell, the more coin we get, and also the more experience we get. But that seems like it's kind of pushing it, I guess, a little bit. At this stage of the game, I think I'll wait until we get some upgrades specifically for this one. Once we have that 3.98 million, which will probably be, I don't know, tomorrow sometime, then we'll have more workers to spend here in the gourmet kitchen, and then those will kick off faster. And I think that's the way that that's the way I have been doing it, and I think that's the way I want to continue with. So I think, I guess I could add another machine shop and process this a little bit faster. Eventually we're going to run out of power, so we want to be careful with that. And it looks like we also want to be careful with using too much fire. So let's add another furnace here. Yeah, using more fire than we're producing, but we're fine because we're fueling with coal now. I've turned off the hearths. I could probably actually remove those 2 buildings too. We don't need it. Yeah, we could scale it up faster, but I'd rather use the coal. The wood is useful for other things. And so I think we'll, we're draining energy now. I have 10 water wheels going. We could add more, of course, but also this is kind of like a balance thing where I think it's better to kind of ride it slowly and let it kind of go, and it'll catch up once we can make steam power and things. So I think we're going to leave this here. You can kind of understand or get a little bit of where we're at. This is a relatively short update episode, but these mana or these magic researches take actually a fair amount of time to run. So I've got 4 schools dedicated to it, and it was I guess it was a little over an hour and a half. So and then I don't know what comes next, but more will come. I'll update you. We'll kind of pick up here, and I'll update you on what happens from here on in the next episode, and hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more work with the mana stuff once we have the prospecting for mana shards. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.